So look, the problem with human beings is that we become so consumed and so wrapped up with ourselves, and it limits us from actually being connected to our consumer. Marketing is positioning that out there. You said branding is who you are and what you are. Okay, but more importantly and more sophisticated, it's what the consumer perceives you as. Big difference. How many times have we been in a transaction and we know that we've done everything right? We've informed the client, we've done everything that we're supposed to, we did our due diligence, all of those things, and then how many of us have still had an unhappy client at the end? So, what's more important? That you feel like you did everything right, or that the client perceives that you were phenomenal? What's more important to your brand? The client. That's where we've got to pivot our attention, is to become radically intimately familiar with what does the client deserve? What does the client need? How can we serve the client to the greatest level? If we can hone our skills on being able to masterfully deliver that, then your brand becomes outstanding. Because all it takes is one or two clients that you've done everything perfectly for, but they are absolutely unhappy. What are some things in a real estate transaction that could lead to a client being unhappy that maybe you had no control over? Their offer not getting accepted, if they didn't understand them. Closing date. So look, the problem with human beings is that we become so consumed and so wrapped up with ourselves, and it limits us from actually being connected to our consumer. By the way, we do that in relationships. By the way, we do that with our kids. So consumed with other people's judgments, other people's values, other people's perceptions of what we should or shouldn't be, other people's agendas. We become so consumed with that we get disconnected from our spouses, our loved ones, our relationships, our clients. That's the pivot to make. The more connected you can get with serving their needs, by the way, the clearer life becomes for you. When you remove yourself out of the equation, when you move yourself out of the way, and you get connected with what your audience needs, what your client needs, what their expectations are, because will they tell you? And even if they don't know, can you learn how to artfully bring it out in them? Would you prefer an open kitchen or a closed kitchen? What's important about that view? What does having 5 acres really represent for you? Can you artfully bring that out in them? Absolutely.